No more cake CGS.
And you would help. So I said, are you coming to preach? He said, yeah, if you will allow me. I said, definitely. Because I've been reading and so wrapped up and tied up in reading books that I really didn't have the time. But I always have a message, right? I said, good, for sure, come on. Pastor Youdi is my happy privilege.
Thank you.
Give him a hand of praise.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
All right. Pastor says he was looking forward for everybody coming hungry and excited.
Yes.
You know what? They had too much of turkey and too much of curry goat and all that West Indian food, so they're full of the other thing.
Yes.
But it's good to be with you. I always come, and I'm a part of what you're doing here. When we look back where it all began and how it all came about, it's all because of God. And I'm so happy for the work that Pastor Sunny and Angela are doing, and for those of you that come week after week and support them by your attendance, your prayers, and your giving, so that the work of God here can continue. We are thankful to God that He has spared our lives to see this year, and I hope that you are determined in your heart as to what God would have you to do. As usual, we had a meeting yesterday announcing our missions banquet. As you always do, you come in numbers. So last year you keep adding. So this year I brought you 20 tickets. So you always have 10, but so this year we'll encourage you to get your friends and all those around you to come. It's always a good time of celebration, and we appreciate the support and hope that you will start putting aside some money. It's not, we had to raise the fee a little bit this year because for the last 5 years it stayed at 35. Of course, everything goes up since the 1st of January. The gas price, you buy gas, you see 14 cents, 15 cents at some stations. But anyways, we hope that you will support us, and as always, you do come. Pam's been a little under the weather, so she did not make it out. And then on Saturday, we are leaving for Belize for a month. As you know, we have our ministry there developing this property, and the houses are right now fully occupied with women and children. So pray for us as we go. I'm excited to go at this time, more so because I can fly directly from Toronto to Belize City on WestJet. They just started in October. So I can't wait to get on the plane on Saturday and avoid having the hassles, for the last 5 years. Whenever we travel, we have to go to the US. And it has always been a real struggle changing airports, security, and all this kind of stuff. So pray for us while we are there. There's lots of actual work that needs to be done, physical work, and pray that God give us wisdom and direction in that regard. Amen. All right, so you have your Bibles today, and it's a new year, and I'm sure many of you have made resolutions, or you made revolutions. So it depends on what you decide to do for the kingdom of God. But I just want to read one verse of scripture taken from 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 2. It's the writing of Paul the apostle to Timothy. Now, you know the relationship that Paul had with Timothy was like a father and son relationship. And he referred to him many times, my son Timothy. And obviously in that regard it was a spiritual son, because as far as we know, Paul was never married, and didn't have a family of his own, but he had many spiritual children. But in this verse here, and I'm reading from the NIV version, 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 2, preach the word, be prepared in season and out of season, correct, rebuke, and encourage with great patience and careful instructions. In the King James Version, he talks about preach the word in season and out of season. And so I want to challenge you today in relationship to your commitment to God in 2017. It's a new year.
Yes.
And many have not lived to see this new year. But those of us who have, we understand that God is consistent. The years change, but He doesn't. And I think it is also His intention that we don't change, even as the year change. By that change, I don't mean backward, but we can change for the better. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about being consistent. Consistent. We find this is a big problem in the Christian churches, in the Christian circle. People make big commitments, and when the time comes to deliver, you can't even find them near the delivery truck because they disappear. And I think that in these last days, I don't know what, I think each one of us need to find a word in our relationship with God as to what we would want God to do for us in 2017. You know, it's already 8 days in the year. But for me, my word is consistency. I want to be able to say to God that no matter what happens, I want to be consistent.
Amen.
And I think God expects us. He says, no man puts his hand to the plow and turn back. He challenges us in His word to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the things of God. In other words, God is looking for stability. He's looking for commitment. He's looking for consistency. And I think, as I said, this is something that is very much lacking in the Christian church. Even with people who are long-time Christians, you know, sometimes if we're not very careful, our spiritual walk gets hampered and hindered because we get distracted with so many things that draw us aside from our focus. So I would say to all of us here today that let us be consistent with the things of God. Now, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to mean it, and another thing to fulfill it. Because you see, life is full of so many complications. And I do understand that there are times when, you know, we may not be able to make a commitment, or we made a commitment and something happened that we may not be able to fulfill it. But get back on track. Don't stay off track. Because you see, a lot of people, they get derailed a little bit because something has happened in their life or some situation has arisen that calls them a derailment, but they stay off the track. So God wants us to be on track. He wants us to be unmovable. As he was saying to Timothy, whether it's winter or summer or fall or spring, preach the word. In other words, what we are doing for God, is not dependent on the weather condition. It's not dependent on the season. And I know it's tough on a day like today or this weekend for people to come to church. You know, there's a lot of reason. But I tell you what, if they have, tomorrow morning, you know, it's going to get a little warmer, but, you know, whether the weather is sleeting or snowing or freezing rain, it's a day of work, and people go to work. I mean, they may get late, you know, the boss may understand, there may be some practical reason and excuse, and that's understandable, but they go to work. I mean, they cannot say, well, you know, it's snowing, it's bad weather, I'll stay home for a couple of days, and then when I feel like going back to work. You know that doesn't work. You know that doesn't work. But we should use the same rationale when it comes to the house of God and being consistent in our worship of the Lord Jesus Christ. You know, it's not easy to, it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to mean it. So, but God is looking for consistency. Amen. We should ask God to give us the strength and the ability that we will keep the commitments that we have made to Him. Consistency, first of all, in our walk with God. In our spiritual walk with God. I'm not talking now about coming to the house of God or being in a physical presence in the church. I'll come to that later. But I think it begins with us in our hearts. We must be determined in our hearts that no matter what happens to us, we will serve the Lord. Amen. You see, Joshua had a challenge. All of Israel was beginning to worship idols, and there was an apostasy and a falling away. And in the 24th chapter, he had to make a statement. Choose you this day whom you will serve.